Hi everyone, Miss Andronicus here, and today we are looking at converting metric units. Okay, so the metric system, of course, is a system dating back for quite some time with lots of different quantities. So there's forces with newtons, electrical currents, ampere, and frequency, hertz. You'll be more familiar with, of course, the meter, the gram, and the litre. These are considered our basic units. This table shows, of course, all the prefixes for bigger measurements and smaller measurements. You would know also that all of these can be converted into decimals as well, not just the powers that you can see here, but you can also write them in decimal places. So you've got the tenth, the hundredth, the thousandth, etc. So there are all your bigger units after your basic ones, all the bigger ones, and all the smaller ones. You can also consider these working similar to place values. So I've got those most commonly used ones in the middle in blue, and outside of that, of course, there's a few place values missing, which is why I've got those dots, but you've got then the million, billion, trillion, quadrillion intervals. The same thing going into the decimal places. So you can think of it working like place values, starting with your ones and working outwards like that. So you need to be able to convert between them, okay? Particularly with your ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tenths, hundredths, and thousandths going the other direction after the decimal place. So the ones are considered your unit. Then if we're getting bigger, we've got deca, hecto, kilo, okay? Your decimal places is deci, centi, milli. These should sound familiar to you. Some of them should anyway, because you know that, for example, in a very common unit such as meters, and if I just show this one up, we've got meters, the decameter, hectometer, and then kilometer, okay? Then the deci, centi, and millimeter. All of this is familiar to you, but we only in everyday life usually use the most common ones, such as meter, kilometer, centimeter, millimeter. You need to be able to convert between them. The other basic unit here is also grams. So in the middle I've got grams, the decagram, hectogram, kilogram, etc., etc. You even have centigrams and milligrams. We'll use the centimeter very commonly, but not so much the centigram, more the milligram. We do use decagrams as well. Certainly if you go to, let's say, the butcher or anywhere like that, and they ask you for, how much ham or whatever you want to buy, sometimes it's used very commonly there as well. Also, last but not least, you've got the litre. Okay, so you've got the litre, the decaliter, hectoliter, kiloliter, deciliter, centiliter, milliliter. Again, these are the most common ones. You do sometimes have other breakdowns depending on, what you're purchasing or what you're looking at. You do need to be able to convert between them. And the reason why we need to know these less commonly used ones, of course, exist is because they hold a place value when we convert, let's say from meters to centimeters, we need to know that, well, the decimeter is in between as well. One way to help you to be able to convert is a little what we call mnemonic. This mnemonic is an interesting one. I've highlighted the first letters because you'll see those first letters correspond with the first letters up here as well. So King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Now, this isn't about King Henry, but it does help us remember the order of this place value and also helps us convert between them. If we, let's say, can't remember that it's 100 centimeters in a meter, then we can use this mnemonic. Let me show you how we use it. Okay. One other conversion to remember, once you get past your kilograms, you also have 1,000 kilograms is a ton. Okay, so getting even bigger there. All right, so let's use this mnemonic for these questions. So whenever you approach questions, if you can remember King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk, it wouldn't matter that on your exam or over at the side, you even write to yourself, okay, King Henry died unexpectedly drinking chocolate milk. Okay, so you write that there just so that you can keep that in the back of your mind. So if we have a look, this is how we use this mnemonic. So the question is in grams and we want to go to kilograms. So I know the unit is where grams would be. I know kilograms is under the K. So I have a look at how many places does it take, how many jumps does it take for me to get from grams all the way to kilograms. It takes me 3 jumps and I'm going to the left. So I need to know where the decimal place is because that's where I start my jumping. So the decimal place is here, okay? And then I go 1, 2, 3. And that's what I'm jumping with. It's like I pick up that decimal place and I jump it 3 places to the left. So my answer is 3.46 kilograms. Let's try another one. We're going from kilograms to grams this time. So if we wipe this out, we want to go the other way, kilograms to grams. So we start at the K and we bounce 1, 2, 3 places, this time to the right. So we always start wherever the decimal place is, and it's telling us to take that decimal place 3 places to the right. We go 1, 2, 3. Because there's no numbers, let's say, there to jump, we need to add our numbers in. So 142 stays, the decimal picks up for another 3 jumps, and then we can put it down. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, let's try a few more. Now we're going from meters to centimeters. So again, using King Henry, we know our meters is in the unit spot, centimeters is under the C, okay, that's our centimeters. How many jumps do we take that decimal place and which direction do we take it? So from meters to centimeters is 2 jumps to the right. We pick up our decimal place and we go 1, 2 jumps to the right. So that's 1, 4, 3. And in that gap, we need to make sure we add a 0. Okay. So millimeters to kilometers. To reset, we've got millimeters to kilometers. Okay, so we need to know that this is where we're starting and this is where we're heading to, and we bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places to the left. So we take that decimal place and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's where we put the decimal place down. So we've got to jump a couple of zeros, and before the decimal place, we need to start with a 0. Then we put the decimal, then we've got those 2 zeros we jumped, and then the rest of the number. 1, 4, 5, 3, 4. My goodness. Okay, so don't get tricked just because there's a few extra zeros. Okay, last one. Milliliters to liters. Okay, milliliters to liters. And let's have a look at our jumps. So 1, 2, 3 to the left. Okay, so milliliters to liters. Milliliters is where we start. Liters is where we finish. 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.078. Okay, give that a go and good luck. Thanks, guys.